Introducing Kicking Back with the Cooks, presented by Woodhouse. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Here's head coach John Cook, along with your host, Lauren Cook West.
So should I say howdy cowboy, or are you still going by coach?
I'm still going by coach, but depends what part of Nebraska or Wyoming I am. It could be cowboy.
Yeah, it looks like you just got off your horse. Did you ride your horse to this Zoom call?
No, but Bud and Reba are missing me right now.
Well, you're currently living your best life, best cowboy life up in Wyoming right now. This is a little bit of downtime for you. And you're driving tool cats every day, you're riding horses. Give us a little update. We know we saw on one of the news outlets that you were driving the horses up to Wyoming. So give us a little update on where you're at in life, how that went, and how the horses are doing now that they've moved states.
Well, Bud and Reba, got in a relationship. Bud was our volunteer assistant coach, and but he had plans to come to Wyoming. So a week ago, I drove him up in a horse trailer, and they're out on a kind of a mini ranch right now, and we're in the process of building a corral and an area and doing some work. So I'm doing farm life, ranch life out here. It snowed yesterday on us for quite a bit, so it's beautiful today. But it's just a good break. It's good to get away and really enjoy the hard physical work. And the horses seem to really like it. I'm worried about them getting a little cold at night. It's been really cold here, so I'm a little worried about that. But anyway, that's the cowboy life right now for a couple weeks, and then it's back to the grind.
Taylor's going to kill me for bringing this up, but can you please tell the story of how he made it out to go line dancing? Because that happened when you were trailering the horses out. Yeah,
so what you have to do is when you go from Lincoln to basically where we are in Wyoming, Alton, Wyoming, it's a 2-day drive with the horses. You just can't drive it straight through. So you got to have a place to overnight. So we stopped in Laramie, Wyoming, and through a connection, a young lady that grew up in the Sandhills. Her dad is a rancher there and former rodeo guy, and she has a place where she kept her horses while she was rodeoing, and she actually was graduating from University of Wyoming that day. So we stopped in, put the horses in the corrals, and then went out to dinner with her and her family. And so we had a long dinner because everything was crowded because it was graduation. So in Laramie, Laramie's not a big town, so everything was crowded. But we had a great dinner, and we're leaving, and I'm getting ready to go back to the hotel. Next thing I know is the Simonson family is going out to celebrate a little more, and Taylor's going out. Next thing I hear, he's line dancing, and girls are hitting the ceiling, and it was wild at the Cowboy Bar, the original Cowboy Bar in Laramie. So Taylor got exposed to some cowboy life and learned how to line dance. It's pretty cool.
It was his cowboy christening.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the Simonson family is a great family, and made us feel really welcome. And Jaylee, who's the young lady who graduated from Wyoming, rodeoed for them, and of course grew up in the Sandhills, and played volleyball for Sandhills High School. And so anyway, just it was a really, really cool night. And the next morning we loaded up the horses, and she helped, and we drove them the rest of the way. So they were pretty happy, and we had a great time.
Speaking of cowboys, did you hear the news about Yellowstone?
No, I have not.
So I'm breaking Yellowstone news to you.
Yeah.
The next season is coming out on November 13th.
Oh, wow, right during our season. Oh, shoot.
Tough timing for you.
Yeah. Right now, I did not know that. I did hear they are filming it, and I think they're up in Wyoming or Montana filming it. But I've been really fixated on the opening of Top Gun 2. So, it's been delayed several times with COVID and everything. But as you know, Lauren, we use Top Gun to teach, and I use it to teach coaching. There's some great concepts in there. And, of course, I grew up, close to, I used to coach at Coronado High School where, those guys will fly in and out of there. And then Miramar, they would take off out of there and fly right over our house. So very much in tune with the naval aviators based in the Top Gun movie. And, of course, our president of our university, Ted Carter, was a former Top Gun teacher, coach, or whatever you want to call it. And I believe he has the most carrier landings of any pilot in the U.S. Navy. So Ted Carter, the president of our university system at Nebraska, has done some incredible stuff, and I know helped train Tom Cruise in the first Top Gun movie. So a lot of good connections there for Nebraska, and it's a great. Hopefully, this Top Gun 2 is going to be as good as the first.
So Tom Cruise is actually up there flying a fighter pilot jet.
I think they have him actually do it.
Wow.
Otherwise, they have an incredible way of simulating it.
Well, Yellowstone, their upcoming season, and Top Gun 2 all in the same year for you. 2022, and you became a cowboy, so 2022 is your year.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep evolving. As I say, we got to keep reinventing ourselves and having fun, and so the horse world's really been a lot of fun. I got to hang out with the UNL rodeo team, got to practice with them, went to their rodeo a couple of weeks ago to end the semester, met some really cool college student athletes, and just been having a lot of fun with it. So got invited to brandings and rodeos and doing all kinds of stuff. And of course, everywhere I went to speak this spring out west, the first question everybody asks is, tell us about Bud.
I feel like you're so high on all this cowboy rodeo stuff because it's all you talk about now. I can't get you to shut up about it.
Well, it's, like I said, it's good to have breaks from volleyball, but we'll be talking about volleyball, I'm sure.
Well, volleyball is up next. We have some big news that happened after we recorded our last month's podcast. And so I want to start with Kayla Akana transferring because that was a little bit of a surprise. Since we found out the news she was transferring or entered the transfer portal, we have also found out that she's going to Texas. And she played in the red-white scrimmage. So we saw her play. I thought she was happy and sticking with the team. She had a pretty significant role, but now she's left the team and presumably already at Texas. So were you caught off guard? What can you tell us about that transfer?
Well, anytime anybody transfers, you either see it coming or you don't, and I did not see this one coming along. So, she did play in our spring match against Kansas. She had a great spring. She had a great beach season. We had a wonderful time in Hawaii with her family. We did some really cool things that, had a big luau with them. And so, yeah, I was totally caught off guard. But, in this day and age now, I don't understand a lot of these guys transferring. Some make sense. They're like somebody who has like Callie Schwarzenbach. Let's use her. She has a fifth year. She wants to go get a master's. She wants to try something new. Great. That's a good reason to try to go play somewhere. Go transfer and do something else. With Keonile, I don't know. It didn't make sense. But she said she wanted to be a starting libero somewhere. So maybe she thinks she'll be able to do that at Texas. And there's nothing I can do about it. I get a text and they're off, and that's it. That's how the new transfer portal works. So it's a lot of fun. It's I think this portal creates. Makes it really easy to transfer. So if somebody's unhappy, they think the pastures are greener on the other side of the fence. There's a cowboy saying for you. They can just leave. So but yeah, our team's bummed, we're bummed, and she's got to find whatever she's looking for, and I guess it wasn't here in Nebraska.
Well, I wish her the best of luck, and it's tough to see her leave. I enjoyed watching her play, but best of luck to her at Texas. One positive to this is, one player transfers out, another transfers in, and I'm not saying this was a trade, but you did just get Caitlin Horde, and she hasn't been here all semester. She's finally on campus. Is she settling in? Have you chatted with her? How is she doing in her first few weeks as a Husker?
Yeah, she just got here a week ago. Started summer school. Started working out. You remember she didn't have a spring season because she wasn't allowed to train with Penn State. So she's starting from square one, like a true freshman coming in, and but she got moved in. Her dad brought her out, got moved in her apartment, and that's really good. And so I think she's really fired up. She's really happy. She wants to go to work, and that's what you want to see in players. Is they're just another horse cowboy saying chomping at the bit to get going. And so I think she's really excited, and she's in a leadership class that is a pre-session class she enrolled in that is a lot of fun. I can't remember, Lauren, if you took that class. I think you did. Yeah. So she got in that class to start off her master's program, and that's a great class to start off in and get some leadership. But that's another transfer that I think makes more sense. I mean, Coach Rose retired. They have half their team leaves. She was looking for, okay, maybe I need to look at something else, and we're really happy. She's a awesome young lady, and really excited to be able to start working with her.
Everything that transpired with Penn State over the last few months reminds me of what happened back in 2009 when I left UCLA. It was, a coach who had been there forever stepped down, a bunch of players transferred, and they just kind of started over from scratch. So I don't know if you see it too, but I see some similarities in that UCLA program then and the Penn State program now.
I think definitely it's very similar, and we got there's going to be a lot more coaches getting out and retiring here. The older generation, and you got. I think it was one of the great things when Coach Pettit left Nebraska. I mean, he had a plan. With me coming in, and we had a plan. We coached together that last year, and there was a great transition. Help us have one of the greatest teams ever in 2000, went undefeated and won the national championship. So. I think it's really, really important that in this day and age, it's getting harder and harder with the portal and the transfers and recruiting and all that stuff. So it's important that we always have a great plan, and we're working to keep our program the best it possibly can be. And yeah, it's unfortunate when you see careers end like that and with that kind of turnover.
So a player we didn't see in the red-white scrimmage, I think she maybe came in for 1 or 2 points, but Kennedy Orr, didn't see her in the red-white. I think a lot of people, or not the red-white, the spring match. I keep calling it the red-white scrimmage, but it was the spring match versus Kansas. I think I call it red-white because football does a red-white scrimmage in the spring. But anyways, I think a lot of fans were expecting to see Kennedy Orr. You guys have talked about it a lot, your entire coaching staff, about how she has the keys to the program now. She's going to be taking over for Nicklin. Nicklin's moving to a different position, but Nicklin was playing on Saturday, and I know part of that had to do with Kennedy, the knee scope that she received back in March. She missed part of your sand season, the first part of the indoor spring season. How's she doing? Any updates on her? Will we be seeing her in the fall? What can you fill us in with there?
Well, right now she's preparing her speech for her sister getting married. She has to give the the speech.
Bree?
Yeah, Bree's getting married this weekend.
Wow.
So I know Kenny's excited about that, but she got set back in the spring and missed a bunch of training time, and so I didn't think she was quite ready to go play a whole match, and just because she hadn't had the training time because she was out for a while. So I was trying to be really cautious with her. And so for her right now, if she can stay healthy, she has the keys to the program, as you just mentioned. And so this summer will be really important for her. So it was kind of like, do you want to take a chance, throw her out there? You know, what if something happens if she's not 100% yet? Or oppose just, not have her playing very much in that match. I wanted to get her in a little bit more, but all those games we won, it's like we won in this big run at the end there. We went really fast. So the summer will be key for her. She's got to be in the gym every day. She's got to really work hard and recondition herself to get ready to go through a long fall season. And she did it last year with training. She wasn't playing every match, but she knows she can do it. But she just had a setback, which sometimes happens, and that's why they go in and clean it up and fix it up. And a lot of pro athletes go through this, and so it's just nothing, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just the timing wasn't great.
Well, she was in good hands with Dr. Duga for that surgery. He's still your team ortho,
Yes,
right?
Yes, yeah, Dr. Duga. He's been around forever, and he's does a great job.
Kayla Caffey, any updates there?
Well, Kayla, if you just follow her on Instagram. She's living her best life in Las Vegas right now. So she's out with her friends, and when you're that age, why not do Vegas? We still don't have a final, but we'll know more as we get when she gets back. We got some more things we have to go through, and then we'll hopefully by July 1st we've got a great plan and a final decision.
Okay, so July 1st is hopefully Husker fans will have an answer about Kayla by then.
Yep, we have to turn in paperwork then, so it's gonna, as the fishermen say, you got to fish or cut bait.
All right, Husker fans, mark your calendars then. July 1st, you'll have an answer about Kayla Caffey. Since we're talking about players on your team, I saw on Instagram a post about a few of your players who are going to train or play with the USA national team, represent the USA team. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, this week, Lexi Rodriguez, Becca Alec, both go to the USA junior national team. They start training down in Louisiana, where our USA, the big girl national team, is actually going to play the first VNL matches next week or the week after, I can't remember. And then from there, they're going to go to Cabo San Lucas. So that is a trip that I'm very interested in going to recruit, so I can work on my Spanish. But there's what's called a Norseca tournament down there, and it's a qualifier for the World Championships. So they're going to take that team down there and play, and so those are those two. The next group, then Caitlin Hord's going to go out and train with the USA team in June, and that's with, again, all the college players come out and get together for a week and train. So she's going to do that. And then, let me think about this. Who else is going of our 2022 class? So those are the main ones from our team right now. And then some of our future recruits, if you want to follow the junior youth team, will be playing on that team as well. So I'm trying to think of who else I'm missing here.
Bergen's,
yeah. We can't talk about those guys yet.
That's right. We can't do that.
Yeah. So anyway, we have players that we've been recruiting that will be going on the junior youth team, and so people can follow that. That will be in July, and they actually will play in a big tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So
there's the junior youth, then there's the junior, and then there's the actual national team.
Yes, there's 3 teams. And
then there's also, isn't there a youth, or is that junior youth?
It's just called youth now.
Okay.
They've actually simplified it. There's a national team, junior national team, youth team. So it all just depends on what age group you fall into.
Got it. And you mentioned recruiting. Where else?
Hang on, Lauren. Let's back up. So Maggie, because Maggie's not here yet. She gets here next week. She will be going on that junior youth team in July. So she's on that team. I'm just trying to think. Yeah. So she's on that team. Becca's on the junior national team, just because I think they miss it by like a week of their birth date or something. So Maggie's the other one that will be playing on the junior youth team in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay, so back to recruiting. You said you may go down to Cabo to recruit. I don't know if that's a joke or not. I'm assuming it is. But where else will you be recruiting within the next month or so?
So there's a big tournament in Columbus, Ohio, called the Summerfest here in early June. That's a huge tournament. It's a new one, but all the top teams are going to it. Then the next stop will be Orlando for the AAUs. That goes on for 2 weeks, all the age groups from 12 to 18s. And then after that in Indianapolis is the Junior Olympics, and that's the latter part of June and early July. And then that's kind of it, and we'll do some practices and things in between and go from there. Okay, Lauren, again, let's go back. So, yeah, okay, I can't remember who's signed and who's legal, who's not legal. So anyway.
We don't want to get you in trouble.
I can't get in trouble. So we have so many players doing stuff this summer. It's going to be pretty cool to follow them. A lot of them are playing in USA teams and these other teams, and they're really good club teams. So there's going to be some really good volleyball this summer for Huskers and future Huskers, and it'll be fun to watch them and follow them.
Is there any negatives to that, because maybe they're not at every single voluntary summer conditioning workout or around the team all summer? I know you do a lot of team building activities. So are there any negatives to having those players away and not in Lincoln for the summer?
If our team wasn't so tight already and so close, I would be worried about that. Of course, Maggie has to integrate in, and she's going to come in and start with basketball in June, and then this will be great because she'll get to play volleyball and kind of recalibrate for volleyball as she goes into her two-a-days. And she's somebody that potentially could play as a freshman. So I think she's got a great plan for the summer. And Becca and Lexi also have a great plan. It's early. They've actually been working out and to prepare for this. So they'll go. We'll just have to make sure we give them a break, and then they'll miss out on a little bit of stuff, but again, our team's in a good spot where we have a great foundation laid, so it'll be easy for them to come back in when they get back from Cabo San Lucas, unless they decide they're just going to stay down there and go to college in Cabo San Lucas. If I go down there, I might just decide, this is pretty cool. I'll just stay here.
This is a side note, but it does have to. It relates to volleyball. So on the last episode, we were talking about the student section, and I was saying how, I've never met who runs it, and it's always so organized, and someone has to be in charge. And so you'll never believe this, but they actually reached out to me. Her name's Jill. I think she's like the president or CEO. She's the boss lady. She's in charge. And she sent me an email. I think she got my contact information from Lindsay Peterson, your director of ops, and she reached out and we chatted, and I actually sent her an email back, and I'm waiting to hear for her response. So Jill, if you're listening, I know she listens to these, check your email and respond back to me. But they have a whole hierarchy. I mean, it's like they have the president, the vice president, chancellor. I don't know the rankings and how it all goes, but they are so organized, and I think you have to be with how well how many of them show up for your matches, and their chants and their cheers and the signs that they hold up. I mean, you have to have some organization to have all that flow together. But I was impressed. They have a special email handle or email address, and then they have all their signatures. And I don't know if you knew all of this, but it's a big deal.
It is a very big deal. Our goal is to have the best student section in the country, and what the challenge is we're divided up into 3 different spots, and then the band's in a 4th spot. So they have to coordinate, and it's, in some ways it's probably helped them coordinate a little bit more. But we got some cool stuff for them. They get the Red Kingdom songs coming in this fall. We're going to get them. We're designing Red Kingdom wear for them to wear, or shirts to wear. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and I want to continue to have fun with those guys. And in the past, I mean, I bought tickets for them to go to the NCAA matches, and
you bought them pizza.
Pizza, yeah, and I want to continue to embrace what they do because they're passionate, they're fun, and they make our matches a lot of fun. Now, they upset some of the people that are behind them because they're standing up all the time, but you know what? We'll live with that complaint. It's. You know what else, Lauren? We should add is, okay, if you want a confession today.
Yes.
So sometimes on the far end of the court, when there's let's say somebody serves and it's really close, and I might hear the crowd ooh or ah, like, was it in or was it out? Do I challenge it? I look to the student sections and they're telling me no, or challenge, green card. So I use those guys now. They're great, and they've been 100%.
So your secrets are revealed. JV and I,
players.
Yeah, we always talk about it. Like, who is telling him when to challenge? And sometimes we think it's Jalen, sometimes we think it's the players, but now we know it's the student section that you're relying on.
Yep. So there's my confession. The student section. They help me make calls. But NCAA is probably gonna make a rule now by fall to take that out.
Back to t-shirts. Can you guys don't design the cheesy like red Go Husker Tech 9 t-shirts. Do like a cool t-shirt with maybe some retro vibes, old school, something that they'll want to wear out in public and not just at volleyball matches. Really put some effort into it, and maybe have Jill or one of the student section presidents or vice presidents come in and help you design it.
Lauren, that's a great idea. I'll have you approve the design, and Jill, I'll let you guys approve whatever we come up with. We're actually going to meet next week. We meet with we have a new marketing person who was hired, so we're going to meet and plan all this out. Again, we're talking about potentially having a DJ. We may or may not. We got the Red Kingdom song that I'm super pumped about, and we want to make those students feel a part of our program. Like they're out there in the court with us, helping us, try to find a way to beat these guys.
I already have ideas rolling in my head, so I'll shoot
okay.
I'll put some things together and shoot them to you.
Get Jill on standby, have her ready to go, and I'll get it to you guys, and you guys give us feedback.
She needs to check her email. I don't know if she just checked out because school's over and she took her finals, but she needs to check her email.
Lauren, let me tell you, college kids today do not check email. So Caitlin Horton, we're sending her all these paperwork that has to be done. Of course, she's going through finals at Penn State. I'm like, call her up, Caitlin, you got to fill this stuff out. She goes, what are you talking about? I go, have you checked your email? She goes, no, I don't check my email. So anyway, it's just par for the course. So she'll rally. Maybe if she watches this, she'll get on it. Get her cell and we'll just text. That's what they do.
Yeah. I need to give her my phone number. Just text everyone from now on. You gave a confession.
Yeah, good. Get that.
I'm going to tease a confession. I have a big life update that's happening this week, but I'm going to save it and share it in next month's episode. So that will give all of our fans, all of Husker Nation, something to look forward to.
Okay, wow. I don't even know what this is, so
I think you do.
Oh, I do? Oh.
Maybe you don't.
I don't.
I know I've talked with you about it, but I know you forget things in your old age.
Okay. Oh.
All right. Okay. And then I have a lesson, and I have a really good lesson today. I'm going to get some big brownie points, bonus points, gold star for sharing this lesson. Are you ready?
Yep.
No hour of life is wasted that is spent in the saddle.
Oh, wow. That is profound. The Cowboys are going to love that. Cowboys and Cowgirls. We always just can't say Cowboys. There's as many Cowgirls as there are Cowboys. And I've been so impressed with the girls on the rodeo team, and like meeting Jaylee. I mean, these girls, they drive big trucks, they pull trailers, they haul horses, they clean corrals. I mean, they get after it. So I was just trying to envision, one of our freshmen, like, hey, here's a dually pickup, there's 5 horses, load them up, haul them over to the fairgrounds and unload them, get them cleaned up, ready for the rodeo. Like, if they could do that. So anyway, pretty impressive. These ranch girls and rodeo girls, what they do, and it's actually fun to watch. Then they get out there and they have to perform. This is why I really like watching this. I mean, they get, for example, if they're going to do what's called breakaway roping, they're going to rope a steer. It breaks away, so they don't actually pull it or tie it up. But it happens in about between 4 to 8 seconds. If you don't get it done, you lose. If you miss, you lose, and that's it. They're around waiting, and all of a sudden, boom! They got a horse, a rope, and a cow. Everything's moving, all these parts, and talk about focus and having to perform. I mean, that'd be like you get one serve to determine whether we beat Penn State or not.
Well, I was just going to say, it's exactly like volleyball. I mean, a normal play, most plays in the sport of volleyball, especially on the men's side, it's only lasting for maybe 4 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And you have to make a decision or make a move or, decide what's going to happen in that short amount of time. And it either, you either win a match or lose a match based on those few seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure to perform, and so they're getting some great skills for life out of that. And that's why I've been enjoying the horses and everything, because I'm working on my coaching. So when I'm riding Reba, for example, I'm working on how can I get her to do what I want her to do. She can just read my mind, and again, that's what we're trying to do in coaching. Can I get our players to do exactly what we want them to do? And they're already knowing what they need to do before we tell them or create a drill for it. So it's kind of a fascinating deal. But when you're around horse people who know how to really work well with horses, it's beautiful to watch.
Well, that's all I have for you today. It was short and sweet, and I'm going to let you feed the horses, ride the horses, shoe the horses, whatever you need to do, brush the horses, maybe take Madden out there again to feed him some carrots and apples, and I'll let you enjoy your cowboy life.
Yeah, where is Miss Madden? She's still napping?
Still napping.
Wow, she's been going hard. So
yeah, we're going on an almost 2-hour nap. So.
Yeah. Well, Lauren, we're excited. I know it's a big season coming up. We got a great schedule. Hopefully, next podcast we can talk about our schedule. I still don't have it yet, but there's a couple new developments in our schedule, and I'm sure there's going to be the Big Ten schedule when we get it is going to have a build up to the end of the season. So our fans should be really excited, and of course the Final Four is in Omaha, so that always creates some more excitement. And our players, you didn't ask what they're all doing. Here's the new thing: you go on cruises. And I'm like asking these guys, I've never been on a cruise. Why are you going on a cruise? And they go, Coach, it's great. We got workouts, we got pools, we got jacuzzis. We're in the on the ocean. You eat whenever you want, and it's like staying in a hotel. So everything's there. You just get on the ship and go.
But you're stuck on the ship.
Yeah, but these ships have everything on them: dancing, poker, jacuzzis. So everything's there. So I'm curious to see how they like them. But a bunch of them went on cruises. So, and I think in May they get really good deals because most of those cruises are going to start happening in the summer.
Well, I'm glad they're all enjoying some downtime before you put them to work in the summer and in the fall.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Cook or Cowboy Cook, thank you for just Cowboy.
It's just for a couple of weeks. You just you gotta live the life up here. So, but then it's back to work.
Well, you do you and live your best cowboy life. So thank you so much for your time today. Thank you to all of our listeners, anyone who watched. Husker Nation, we love you, and we'll see you all next month. Thanks again, and go Big Red.